Elon Musk is completely changing Twitter, and it shouldn't shock anyone at this point that he's just gonna continue to do things. Some of the things he's done I thought were good, some of the things are not so good, and now we're going down a route that's just getting kind of crazy. Maybe a little dangerous if we keep going down it in a user's term sense of dangerous, right? Like losing users, because it just is crazy that he spent $44 billion to buy Twitter just to really completely change it and move it into something else when he could have just built his own platform and done it from the ground up. It probably would have cost nowhere near $44 billion. He wouldn't have a debt burden, and he wouldn't have a sinking company because of that debt burden. But some of the biggest news that's come out that's everyone was kind of talking about is this right here, with this saying X will reportedly charge $1 per year to like, post, quote, repost, bookmark, and create lists for Fortune, and that this is an unnamed source by Fortune, not confirmed by X. So this was the rumor thing. Everyone started running with this, saying they're going to charge everyone $1 a year, which doesn't seem crazy, right, if you think about it. But if you charge anything, even just $1 a year, you're going to lose a lot of users because people just aren't going to pay for it. Like, if it's free, it'll get a lot more users. Even $1, people are gonna look and say it's not worth it. I don't want to do that. So that could be the effect here. But we got a response from X, I guess, the main thing here. This is what they said. Starting today, we're testing a new program, not a bot, in New Zealand and the Philippines. New unverified accounts will be required to sign up for a $1 annual subscription to be able to post and interact with other posts within the test. Existing users are not affected. This new test was developed to bolster our already successful efforts to reduce spam, manipulation of our platform, and bot activity while balancing platform accessibility with the small fee amount. It is not a profit driver. So obviously this whole thing is a plan to fight against the bots. You want to make a cost to having a bot. That's why they did the verification badge and saying $8 a month, and gave you all these boosting benefits where if you wanted to bot successfully, really, you'd pretty much have to buy verified accounts. It has an $8 a month thing going in, and once you get banned, you lose whatever money you had out there. Same thing with this. If you wanted to bot 100,000 likes on a tweet, it would cost $100,000 because you'd have to get new accounts. If the bot accounts get banned, got to make a new account, got to pay $1. So it could get pretty pricey pretty quickly. And that's the whole point of this. When you hear it this way, that, they're testing it, it's only in 2 countries. It's $1 a year, and it's only affecting new users. So if you're already on Twitter, you don't have to pay that. It doesn't sound that bad. It doesn't sound insane, right? When the original reporting came out, it was like, oh my God, they're charging everyone to use Twitter. And then it was like $1 a year, and people were starting to calm down, but still talking about it. And now it's not even close to what it was. It's like only new users, existing users don't matter. But it would still kind of matter for growth of Twitter if you think about that. But that's a whole different thing. But basically, it wouldn't affect anyone realistically. But there is something that he is changing that I think is really dumb. And people disagreed. People have said, oh, other apps already do this, and it doesn't matter. And maybe that is. I don't know. But this is the thing that I don't think is a smart thing. I think it's kind of dumb. Is this right here. Elon Musk tweeted this, saying those ugly URL cards with repetitive text are making my eyes bleed. So much better now. Next, we'll remove all the action buttons with their superfluous interaction counts from the main timeline. Just view count will show unless you tap into a post. This will greatly improve readability. And I think that's kind of dumb. Like, if you have to click on a post to see how many likes it has or retweets or comments and stuff, I think that's part of like what makes Twitter Twitter. That's like Twitter culture, right? Ratio started on Twitter. People care about the like count and all these different types of counts. And when you get rid of that and you throw that away, will it make people less likely to want to use Twitter? Maybe not like stop using it or going on there, but stop posting and replying, just knowing that no one will see the numbers. They can't ratio people, won't exist anymore. You kind of change that culture that Twitter has, and growing culture on the internet in a community or something is very hard to do. And once you have it, you don't let that thing go. But I've seen people saying like, oh, other apps already do this, it's fine. Which, sure, I think you think like Instagram, you can double tap to like, or TikTok, you double tap to like or swipe left to go to their profile and do all this stuff. So sure, other apps do it, but the other apps came up that way, right? Double tapping to like stuff on Instagram started there. Instagram kind of made that. That's like the Instagram culture there. TikTok, I don't think really has anything. It's too new. But Twitter had this where you ratios came from Twitter, the retweets and just commenting and seeing like if someone has more comments than likes, then they probably said something no one really agrees with. If they have more likes than the person they replied to, then people agree with them more over the other point. So it's once you change that, once you get rid of that, there's no getting that back. You can't just change that and throw all of this Twitter culture away and Twitter community types things and think that it's not going to change how people behave. Maybe it won't immediately, but I definitely think this will have an effect overall. Maybe I'm completely wrong though. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Definitely could be. But Elon Musk also responded to this recently, actually, saying this is his tweet talking about like removing the interaction buttons and just having no numbers except for the view count, and then you have to swipe or do some things to interact. Saying it'd be so much better. Same for ads. We'll be removing interaction buttons and various counts from posts in the main timeline. View count and time since posted are good enough proxies for popularity, and you will still be able to see the interaction details if you click on the post, which I think is dumb. Like Elon Musk thinks that he's just smarter than everybody. He knows what he's doing. But you bought into Twitter, right? You bought this thing. So why would you want to change it and completely get rid of the entire community aspect of Twitter, the culture of Twitter? Why'd you spend $44 billion to buy an app just to completely change it? You should have just built your own app at that point and grown it from there. It wouldn't have cost you nearly as much money, and you wouldn't have a sinking ship with an insane debt burden. And to say that the view count and the since posted are good enough proxies for popularity, no, it's not. What are you talking about? You know how much terrible, negative, completely false, lying tweets are put out there that have tons of views because it's controversial? Controversies get views, but nobody likes what they tweeted. It's not popular because it's most of the time, completely lying. And now you can't tell. You'd have to click on the post. And adding that makes it another step, which means that the people who want to just stir up controversy and push up their views and get that Twitter ad revenue, that's exactly what they're going to do, right? They don't care. They just want to get money from Twitter. And if you get rid of people's ability to look at an account and look at tweets and see, what do people think? Do people agree? Do people disagree? Do they hate it? You get rid of that. Like, what's the point of using Twitter? I don't understand why you would want to change it. I don't understand why you would buy this thing for such a high price and then just completely change the entire thing. It'll never make sense to me. Elon Musk, I think, did a lot of good for Twitter in the beginning. I think he made a lot of good changes and pushed it forward in the right way. But I think these are bad changes. The dollar thing, whatever. Who really cares about that? But this change, I think, completely changes Twitter and Twitter culture, what goes on in there. He's already ripped away the vocab, right? You can't say tweets or quote tweet, retweet. Those don't exist anymore. Now it's post and repost. It's like you're already ruining what the culture on Twitter was, and now you're going a step further and demolishing it even more. At some point, people who used Twitter and enjoyed it for what it was aren't going to enjoy it anymore, and they might not stop using it. Like, they might not stop scrolling on Twitter, but they're going to stop posting and replying, and eventually they're going to stop using Twitter, and then you're going to have a massive problem, especially with the $1 billion a year debt burden you have on this company. But we'll see how it all plays out. I think this is the first turns where he's really changing Twitter and really going after the Twitter culture, and I don't think that's a smart thing to do. But hey, we'll see if it all works out. Maybe it's the most genius thing in the world, and it just makes Twitter the biggest social media platform in the world. Who knows? But that's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash that button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next